Alright, hello guys. I'm going to go through and show you how to access the databases through the school library in case you don't remember or you need a refresher for how to find sources for your research paper. I recommend while you do this that you also have your Google Drive open so that you can be putting things into that while you're searching. So first you're going to start off at the cpsed.net website in order to go to the school. For the school's website, so I already have that open, so I'll just go there. Alright, you go to academics, and then you click on the library. So when you're at the library, you're going to go to departments. Obviously, you're going to go to the English department. You're going to go to Miss Branca's library pages, and writing your literary criticism research paper. So when you are doing your research, the only thing you can use are these databases. You cannot go onto the web and do random searches, random websites that are not appropriate, that are not literary. So these are your 4 options: Bloom's, Literature Resource Center, Gale Virtual Reference Library, and the Literary Reference Center. Remember, you need to use 5 secondary sources. Now, one of them is supposed to be a book. Obviously, we're not going to have access to actual books now, so I will show you in this one. This is a collection of ebooks, how you can still find a book source from that one. So all of these have the information you need here. They have the password and the usernames, so we will just go into these. I already have Bloom's open up here for us. So when you're in Bloom's, you're going to type in The Great Gatsby. Okay, so 300 things are going to come up, but I want you to note that currently I am in literary works. This is probably not the best place to be because some of these are just going to give you synopsis, plot summary. We do not want to be looking for plot summary for our secondary quotes. You want to be over in the criticism section. So this is really important. Please listen to this. When you are finding your secondary source quotes, if it's anything that you can put in your own words, that is not a good secondary source quote. So if you're going to say something like, "No one shows up at Gatsby's funeral," that's not a good secondary source quote because you can just say that yourself. You can't say, "Tom has been cheating on Daisy for years." Again, that's something in your own words, not a good secondary source quote. So you want to look for things that offer analysis and that are proving your thesis statement. So you need to go deeper and move past plot summary. If you want to write a strong paper, you have to have secondary quotes that are proving your thesis statement. So now I have 274 results. So I can just go down, go through these. Alright, so I'll pick this one, Money, Love, and Aspiration in The Great Gatsby, because I feel like this is some of the concepts that we are talking about. Oh, and there went my internet. Pause while I get my internet back. Okay, here we go, back to my internet. So you would read through this. Also, I noticed in this one that there are other chapters, so maybe there's another chapter in here that might work out for you. Maybe something about the good American life, a chapter just on Jay Gatsby himself. So there are different things in here that you could be using. So if you want, you could copy and paste this whole thing into a drive, or you could just look at it here. There's an option here, save to drive. You can download it. The more important thing though now is we're going to be looking at the citation. And this is so simple for you guys. You're going to click here on citation, and you are going to copy and paste this into your doc. Notice that it is an MLA format. Alright, so there it is. Obviously it's not formatted correctly right now. We'll go back and format that correctly after. Okay, I don't know. My internet's being stupid right now, so. Pause for technical difficulties. Alright. So that is Bloom's, so you can just go through, continue to look for articles in Bloom's. Possessions in The Great Gatsby, something else you could use. Okay, let me go back here. Literature Resource Center is very similar. I'm not going to log on to that one. So the Gale Virtual Reference Library, I already have this one open also. This is where you can find your source that you will be using for your book. So I've already been on here, I did a little bit. So I'm searching for The Great Gatsby novel, and novel for students comes up, and literary themes for students come up. These are both things that students have used in the past. So I know that there's information available in here. So if I were to click on this one, really. Well, this is what it's going to be like doing distance learning, guys. Alright, so you can go through this one. And again, there's some criticism in it. Make sure that you are in the criticism. You do not want the plot summary part of this. I'm just looking to see where the site is. Okay, so the site is way down here at the bottom. Again, copy it. Paste it back into your Google Docs. Alright, so I'm just going to work from here now because I think that you can figure out how to use the databases. So there are some things in here, formatting wise, that I want to go over with you. So obviously, the whole thing needs to be, first of all, MLA formatted. I did not put that in. It will be due on next Thursday, whatever date that is, 23, 24, 25, I believe it's the 26th. So obviously you're going to go 2 times New Roman, size 12, highlight it all, make sure there's no highlight, make sure that the color is automatic black. Alright. One thing I want you to do is to remove the hyperlink. So all of this you're going to get rid of. You're going to get rid of that comma and make sure that that is a period there. So in between Bloom's Literature and the access date, we now have a period and no comma. So we're going to do the same thing down here. Remove your hyperlink. Make sure the comma goes with it. And now you just have a period. Okay, so I purposely picked this one because it does have an editor. If it has an editor, there is something you have to do to it. And here's what you're going to do. So you now make the editor like your author. So it will go alphabetically by your editor's last name. So I'm going to move this here. In parentheses, I'm going to put that this is the editor. And then I have it. Now I'm going to get rid of editor over here. And get rid of that extra comma. Alright. My spacing is still off, so I need to make sure that this is double spaced. I do not want extra. No, definitely don't want that. Make sure there are no spaces in between, so I just need to backspace that. Alright, and now you need to do the hanging tabs. So if you don't know how to do the hanging tabs, you would highlight your whole thing. You go into Format. I believe it is Align and Indent. Go down to Indentation Options. In Special Indentation, you do Hanging. Apply. Alright, so obviously you would have all your sources here, at least 5 secondary sources. You'll have The Great Gatsby also. I will post to you how to cite The Great Gatsby because we're using that web version, so I have that site I can post. This is very simple. Making this works cited page will not take you that long. What's going to take you more time is actually doing the research and making sure you're finding sources that you can use in your paper. You can very easily just copy and paste 5 of these sources right now, 5 of these citations. But are they actually articles that you are going to use? So that's what's more important for you to be doing. So if you have any questions, please ask me. Rather than asking each other and getting something wrong, ask me. I'm available now next week from 9 to 2 to answer your questions. Like I said, I'm going to put together a doc for you guys to sign up for a time slot to individually conference with me. You can ask questions then. Have your first outline with you so that we can look at that. And you can get going with working on this, and this will be due still at 10:30 next Thursday at what would have been the end of the period if we were in school. All right, so any questions, please ask me, and I'll talk to you guys next week.